Hello, Chris Moore here. This last week, world history was made in the Detroit, Michigan area of the United States. Just half of a lake away from the Canadian border, a conference occurred. People literally from around the world congregated to discuss the problems in society that have mostly been ignored. Others were there to voice their grievances with how society has treated them or someone they know. Others were there to learn about this group. I was one of those who went to learn. Some in established places of respect, mostly professors, students, and activists, cried foul that this group would get together in one place, morally equating it to an international KKK or neo-Nazi gathering. They saw this group as a beast, and they tried to shut it down. Despite protests, threats of vandalism, threats of violence, and even death threats, they failed in their goal to silence us. By the time the conference arrived, the attendees, like myself, were pleasantly surprised to see no protesters at all. The extra security and police presence was thankfully unneeded. The original venue changed, but most found the change easier on the wallet and to be a nicer locale on the shores of a large lake where the wind blew in with the smell of water in the air. We arrived and we had the nerve to do those dangerous activities they were scared of, like talk and listen. Our opponents said we were horrible creatures of maleness, he-men and women, of so-called women haters. We got together to do nothing more than compare notes, views, knowledge of history, and even research. We were not there to turn the world upside down and return it to the days before feminism rescued the human race from its barbaric ways. We were there to learn and grow as individuals and as a group. We used the chance to network, to find allies in the next new fight for equality. And since it was a new group of people doing it, I guess it was only natural that one of the previous groups to fight for equality found it dangerous. After all, we were kind of trespassing in on their territory, the struggle for gender equality. Many people have found over the years that there is a new group being left behind and even wronged by society due to many reasons. Some reasons being the successes of previous rights movements, politics, law, and of course, human nature. I'm not saying that any of what came before was bad, and there is still at least some work to be done on those related movements. I won't get into what they are, as that is not what I am reporting about. What I am saying is that laws and societies, they're intricate. And when you change laws and societal consciousness, it can create new problems. Whenever you experiment, you can have results that no one could predict. A large swath of the population has become disadvantaged in ways that many in the social sciences have known about for decades, but they have not been able to make their voices heard. They've been drowned out by other more passionate voices, radicals, and ideologues. And not enough people whom had heard cared enough about it to help right those wrongs in society. Society can only do so much change in a short amount of time, and as culture and biology are concerned, the last century is the equivalent of a month or less in a baby's life. We still do not know everything our tinkering, no matter how good and well-intentioned, will bring about. So who is this new disadvantaged group? Well, according to the speakers at this first international conference on men's issues, it is men and boys. The speakers reported many ills experienced by males in Western society and other societies. I had learned about many of these issues online. College-age men and school-age boys have fallen to the lowest educational success rates in a long time or ever for males in Western societies. Men are repeatedly discriminated against by courts, receiving harsher sentences for the same crimes, and men lose in custody battles at what should be alarming levels. Suicide and homelessness rates are much higher for men than women. Veterans often come home to empty homes, family gone, and court dates for divorce hearings. All of these subjects and more are now common knowledge to those aware of men's issues. So why did I go? Well, as I said before, I went to learn. Despite the internet being a wonderful tool for information and networking, there is still no substitute for meeting people face to face and skin to skin in a handshake. The experience makes the knowledge more real. It makes what might otherwise be an icon back into the person he or she really is. And it makes you realize you can do this activism stuff too. But most important to me about meeting these people was for me to get a chance to get a sense of them. I was able to look them in the eye and feel for myself what kind of vibe I could get from them. Are they being honest with me? Are they honest with the others who attended? Are they honest with the press, knowing that some might be there to do a hit piece? Are they talking out their butts looking for money from suckers? Or are they genuinely concerned about the subjects they talk about? This was the first International Conference on Men's Issues. It was history in the making, and I was there. Look for more reports to follow.